Okay, Cancerian, since I made a video last time this month and then I got interrupted, I'm going to redo Cancerians. So that's the original Cancerians before they made the transition over to the 12 zodiacs, the original 13. July 31st to August 9th, Crab, Moon, Silver, Pearl, Brain, Pituitary, Monday, Ruby, and Paradigm. There's many other things that go with that, but all right. Spirit guides, guardian angels, angels of earth, archangels, ascended masters with good intention, ancestors, highest self, highest me, inner child, shadow side, I recognize, Gab, Newt, Father, Mother, Divine Universe, please allow the messages that need to get through without any disruptions, preferably higher vibrational frequencies, but I understand both sides have a lesson to teach. What do you have for Cancerian? What messages do you have for Cancerian? Okay, got the Ten of Coins in reverse. This definitely could be family oriented. It doesn't have to be, but that's the energy I'm picking up from it. If it's in reverse, I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of struggles or conflict going on, quite possibly between multiple people, maybe even cousins, aunts, or uncles. Like extended family, I'm picking up. The Ten of Coins in reverse typically is like a loss of something, or it's just being withheld or held back. So whatever situation you're in, this could be you or somebody else. Maybe somebody you know that's in your energy that's close by you, or you're going through this yourself. The man in the middle here, he's cloaked in purple. He sees a lot that goes on. He's kind of got his arms crossed, but not fully. So he's still open to making decision. The devil in the upright. This could be a lot of bad habits or traits within the family that have passed down, something that's not resolved. There could be specific people in the family that carry like the authority, like they make the decisions on what goes. They get the say, but those individuals may themselves not be fully healed. So that quite possibly could be just like these individuals here that are slightly chained up. Maybe taking advice based off of somebody that's not healed, or maybe they are being controlled by somebody in the family, which could be leading to the conflict. So let's say there's an individual like a hierarchy and they're not healed themselves. They're stuck in their ways. A lot of things are changing right now. So if they're still making decisions based off of the old programming and such, then what's going to happen is going to have an influence on the younger generations. And there's going to be some issues there, especially with allowing new things for the family to come in. Now, whether or not those younger generations decide to stand up and break that pattern, that's up to them. I also am picking up a younger gentleman here. Because of everything that's going on, he feels a bit, this could be you or a person in your family, they feel really down on themselves, almost depressed. So like they are turning to substances, or they're turning to something to kind of block it out. And they feel like it's a necessity. They're getting a lot of rest, or this could be you getting a lot of rest after something that you're recovering from. I'm not quite picking up that it's the same person. This person's still struggling through it, but this other individual is getting a lot of sleep, a lot of rest. I'm picking up a female, sleeping more than normal. Could be because you're going through like your own ascension, and there's a lot of things that you're struggling with physically, or maybe you've even quit out a lot of things like drinking, smoking, any drugs or such, and you have to go through the process of, what do you call that? It's like a detox. What else can we get for Cancerian? That male's pointing towards a specific flower that's kind of wilted. I don't know what that means. Maybe that's a message for you. There are cards that want to keep coming out, but they don't. So maybe some people are being kept quiet. We got the Ace of Coins in reverse. So whatever is supposed to be handed over is not being handed over. There was supposed to be something shared with an individual and it's being kept. So whether it's being kept within the family or it's being kept by one individual, that I am not seeing clearly here. There's a lot of energies at play. And then we've got the Seven of Clubs as well. Kind of battling things that are unseen. Make sure to do your cleansing work, sage. This here is desert sage, I think. They didn't have the other sage, so it's not bad, actually. It's pretty good. Do your cleansing, use whatever you can around you, but whatever this is, you have good intention. You're trying to fight it off the best you can, or maybe this is somebody that you see in the family that's kind of standing up and they're doing the best they can to defend like the bloodline, but they're coming up against a lot of tension, a lot of fighting, a lot of negative energies that are not fully healed. So it's making it a lot more difficult for the whole family as a collective to have this come in, and it's put them in a state of the Ten of Coins in reverse, which is unfortunate. Communication, I highly recommend communication. It's very important. It's a responsibility. And it does take self-discipline too, because if you are groomed or you were conditioned with the old programming to not speak your truth, because every time you spoke your truth, somebody would shut you down or they would make you feel less about whatever the situation is, even if it's like a severe situation and you voice your opinion, you voice your truth, and you do it with good intention, with heart, and then you're completely dismissed or shut down. After that's happened several times, what's going to happen is it will reprogram your brain to believe that it's no longer important, just to save you from having to go through any of the turmoil or any of the projections or any of the nasty things that get sent your way because other people are choosing not to heal. So persevere through that. Know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. You can get through this. You have to pull away your energy and do your own cleansing and healing work and doing your research. That's okay. That's your strength. That's your inner child. I have a feeling there's children involved too. Yeah, fertility and birth. I'm getting that winking. You know how people wink? I don't know if that's a message for a person. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Again, if these issues are not resolved, there's going to be a lot of conflict and chaos. There's going to be multiple towers. I'm not seeing the tower card come out just yet, but I'm feeling the tower energy. It's like a time to reflect, rest, and it's like a test. But there's individuals that are choosing to be stuck in their ways, which is fine. It's their own right. Just don't get me wrong here. Everybody has free will. So if you don't want to go on the healing journey, that's fine. But inflicting chaos or conflict or trying to shut other people down for doing so is not okay, in my opinion. I don't know about you, but I highly disagree with anybody that forces another person under thumb or under reign or under family tradition because they decide they want to do their healing and everybody else is against it. Let's say there's only 4 people in the family that want to go their own way, but the rest of the family is like, no, you should be doing it like this. You should be doing it like this. But what happens, it becomes stagnant energy. It becomes like a stasis mode. They get stuck because of the fact that nothing's in movement when nobody's healing. Keep that in mind. Use what you can. Learn how to protect yourself. Keep speaking your truth, even when other people say, oh, you talk too much, or you raise too many questions, or you analyze things too much, or you talk about shit that nobody cares about. When somebody says that, that's how they feel themselves. Keep that in mind. That's not how you feel. That's a reflection of their internal turmoil going on. And it doesn't mean that that's how you see it. That doesn't mean that that's what you believe. It's a projection onto you. So because I don't believe that I should heal and everything's fine, you shouldn't either. No, they have their time to do their healing work. If they don't want to do that, then you're allowed to do yours. You have an opening. I see a clearing. What else can I get for Cancerian? You're kind of like being stuck in the middle right now. You know, the whole song, stuck in the middle with you. clowns to the left are me, jokers to the right. Jokers are fools. It can also be childlike energy, people that are still like in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and they still have a childlike mentality because they haven't healed. It's just like a nature versus nurture. There's the Three of Cups. Now, typically this is like not a bad card. I'm getting it's kind of like on one side I'm seeing there's a group, and then there's a line drawn in the middle. On the other side, I see another group, and there's only like maybe a few people walking in the middle. But these ones specifically are on one side. They're very nicely dressed. They have their full cups. They've got a wreath, flowers in their hair. They're going to some event. Specifically, one has blue shoes, one has red shoes, and the other one, you can't see what shoes she decided to wear just yet. This could be the family function, or this, I'm picking up this is a separate thing altogether. That could be a different energy coming in here. It doesn't have to do with the family, but it could very well just be on the side. There's a gift. Maybe these three or these specific women over here are strategic. They may not be following the rules specifically. They're doing their own thing, but they've grouped together. There's a grouping together of people. Now, I don't know what they're planning on doing just yet. I'll look into it. They may be blocking another person, or they're being blocked. One of the two. Chaos, anger, disruption. Yeah, okay. So the strategic point of view, gathering swords, taking away other people's weapons, or taking away other things from other people so that they have no defense mode. Just give me a second here. If you're coming up against a group of people, do your best just to stay secure within yourself. Know that you could still accomplish a lot of things. You do not have to seek validation. You're allowed to do your healing journey. You do not have to be... there's a self-defense, but then there's a defense out of insecurity. So like protection and then just insecurities. Know the difference. Nature. Maybe you need to get out in nature. The universe, total of all agencies and forces in the creation, the inherent, the essential qualities of anything, individual constitution. So make sure to think for yourself. You are a free being. Okay, nobody can put you under lock and key, especially if you're innocent. You don't deserve it. And by innocent, I mean you knew not what you did in the past, but you know better now, and you're trying to do the best you can. You're not inflicting harm on others. You're not doing bad to anybody else. You're just going on your own journey. And there's a lot of people that are going to fight that. Why? Because they are quite possibly suffering, and they're angry that they're not doing it themselves, or they don't have the willpower just yet to do it themselves. So they're going to fight you for it. You know, if they can bring you down here at their level or below them, then you won't supersede them. You won't need them. They can't take off your energy. They can't do nothing with you, right? They can't be bad or mischievous. Natural human instincts, reality, distinct from which is artificial. Okay, so knowing between materialistic and what actually matters, knowing the spiritual and the 3D, the difference between the two, differentiating. These women are very nicely dressed, so quite possibly they themselves like the material things. And anybody that is superseding them in the spiritual aspect, they don't like that. So that... Platinum, the heaviest of all metals. We said gift earlier, right? Platinum, the heaviest of all metals, hard, ductile, malleable, a silvery color. I know a lot of jewelry comes in platinum. I don't know what the significance of that is. I'm not getting anything. Receive, okay. To take a thing offered, to admit, to entertain, to contain, to be the object of, to take stolen goods. Okay, so this could be you or somebody else. Either somebody's getting a gift or somebody's stealing a gift. One of the two, or trying to. Didn't say it was successful. The Wheel of Fortune's still in the reverse. Doesn't necessarily mean whatever's going on behind the scenes is doesn't mean that whatever plans are being made with malintent are going to succeed. It may feel like that to certain people right now, but it doesn't necessarily mean that's going to come through. These women or these group entities here, they could be the ones fighting things off. But the strategic, the Seven of Swords came out first. And this is somebody on the outside too. This is somebody that knows what's going on. They're well aware. They're well crafted. They do have a good enough heart. But they've kind of left everybody out in the cold. So either they're taking action or they're not taking action. And since just the card before that came out, the Wheel of Fortune reverse, I'm going to assume that things that are done in the spiritual realm are not being spoken of. So I don't know, maybe somebody feels the liberty to do something behind the scenes because they feel they can have an impact. Hopefully they're doing it with good intent. If not, that energy is just going to go back on them. What else we got for Cancerian? Rewards. You do the right thing, you will be rewarded. I don't care what anybody says. Sometimes it takes a little longer, but it'll come through. Okay, right after the Three of Cups, you got the Queen of Clubs in reverse. Typically, usually a very loving woman, somebody that's very crafty, somebody that's got a lot of skills, talent, somebody that can kick butt, somebody that's fairly good looking, not that looks are everything, somebody that has a pointed needle. So I'm picking up the whole, what is it? The spindle, what was that? Sleeping Beauty. This brings me back to this, the rest and relaxation. Just possibly somebody under like a sleeping spell or really like heavy spell work where they don't want to do anything but just sleep and they feel tired all the time. And every day they get up, they still feel exhausted, drained. Whoever this is, this person may be a part of this family. They're constantly drained. I feel like kids are involved with that. Hopefully it's not children going through that. Anybody that's placing spell work, you do the best you can to try to learn about this. Even if you don't believe in it, just kind of dabble into it. Like know about possessions, and I don't mean in like a demonic way. Know about the energy and how it can be manipulated, understand, because energy is real. That's proven scientifically. I mean, there's no denying when you walk into a room and the crowd is good or negative, you're going to feel it. And the impact you have, especially if you're an empath or you're very sensitive or you're intuitive, you're going to know the impact you have or the energy that you can pick up and read in the room. So if you have a feeling, if this isn't you and this is somebody in your family and you're witnessing it and you're watching them be taken for everything, their gifts, you're watching them go through spell work done on them, and you're aware of this, like internally, you know what's going on and you don't say anything, that's up to you. But just remember, even no decision's still a decision. Not to put too much pressure on you, but just keep that in mind. Then we got the King of Clubs. Funny, we got the Queen of Clubs in reverse, and we got the King of Clubs upright. This person may be the one watching right now. They may very well be the one that's seeing all this happen. It could be a couple. Maybe one's in the upright and the other one's in reverse, and he's not liking what's going on. He hasn't said anything just yet. He's holding back. He's keeping things to himself. He's resting. Maybe he's going through some sort of sickness right now himself. He's trying to be himself maybe, or herself, strategic. Because these can be in the reverse too. This could be a woman in masculine energy and a masculine and feminine, but that's not what I'm picking up right now. I'm seeing the assigned genders to each of the cards. This is quite possibly a couple. What else can we get? Actually, let's go to the past life. Past life oracle card, please, for Cancerian. Spirituality and religion. Now, this is either you or somebody you know. Maybe it's the family collective, or maybe it's generally the people you hang around with. Maybe they're spiritual or religious. Or this quite possibly could be the person that's going through whatever this is. That's thinking a lot of thinking. Like maybe somebody's part of like a fellowship, a brethren. They're opening their hands, so they're expecting to receive something. They got a book in front of them, maybe knowledge. And the ring that's supposed to be on this side, technically, you know, it's on the other hand. It's on the other hand. So maybe there's a falling out, maybe something to do with marriage. All I'm seeing here is the ring finger on the opposite hand. There's somebody quite possibly that's afraid of what's on the other side. Just keep in mind that even when our bodies go, our energy still exists. It doesn't dissipate. It has to go somewhere. If there's unresolved things, then you may come through other people in your family or friends around you that are empathic or medium or have their gifts and their intuition, and they pick up on the signs. If you need to go to the ones that you know specifically, if you are ready to pass over and you still don't have you have unfinished business and stuff like that, there are other ways of resolving the issues. Unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't happen when people pass. Some of the things that held them back, you know, they never conquered, just like our ancestors. So that kind of gets passed down to the rest of us that are still here in the 3D. It's kind of like an innocence. The energy itself. We're all learning. We're supposed to be learning together. It doesn't always work that way, but hey, pick and choose your battles. Another card here, war and battles. So this could be something that's passed down from long time ago. We're talking prehistory, but there are lessons that need to be learned. It doesn't look like certain lessons are being learned right now, and if you are doing the best that you can, keep going. If you are trying everything and you're still coming up against certain energies, especially ones that you can't even see, do not lose faith in yourself. Keep going. Keep pushing forward. Know that there are other things at play here, and there are other energies willing to help you too. Some of them you have to ask, right? Have the courage. Pick and choose your battles. But yeah, these are energies here that it feels like a reoccurring cycle in this 2024. So this generation, these families, whoever this is, whether this applies to you or somebody close you know, this feels like a reoccurring cycle. Cleanse your pituitary gland. I don't know if you know anything about that, but cleanse your body. Get any chemicals out of there that you don't need. Okay, what else can we get? Let's see. Can we get the clarification on the Ace of Coins in reverse? A runner. One who runs, a messenger, a bird of the order, cursors. So this could be a family curse. This is something transpired a long time ago, and guess what? We get to deal with it. A stem running along the ground and taking root. So work on your root chakra, or maybe that's what you need to work on yourself, or that's what you stand in. That's usually your free will, your choices too. I am, right? If you're a runner, you can't outrun your problems. You're going to meet other new people and new situations and circumstances that are going to just challenge the same lesson that you haven't learned yet. I refuse to run, even when I'm held up against. I have such a strong desire to learn certain things, even though I get stubborn too. I'm not perfect, but I refuse to run. I will stand my ground, even though I'm faced up against certain things too. Even if people strategize against me, I'll strategize right back. I'll figure something out. Yeah, that on which something runs or slides. So it could be feeling like I'm getting chutes and ladders, snakes and ladders. Getting young energy. Snakes and ladders. That's symbolic too in itself. Freak. A sudden causeless turn of the mind or event, a caprice, a sport to variegate. A lot of times we get called certain things like freak, or you're weird, you're weird or you're odd or something like that. That's just what people don't understand, and that's okay. Understand that they do not comprehend that there's more to this. They are still quite possibly in their more karmic state or their fool-like state, and they don't know better. So don't be hateful or angry towards them. That's energy you're sending out. Even if they trigger you and you get upset and you start fighting back and forth, you just have to pull yourself back and get yourself grounded and calm and balanced, and realize that not everybody's going to see things that you see. Not everybody's going to understand the things that you understand, and that's okay. Superiorgation, to shun, giving more than enough, like shining, giving more than enough performance of more than duty requires. So maybe you're just to compensate for all this other things that are happening in life. You're compensating. You need to be able to rest too. You need to be able to take the time to heal yourself so that you can turn that wheel of fortune back in the upright, because you deserve it. Anybody that's fighting you constantly, you need to just have peace with that. Be like, you know what, whatever they do against me, it's not going to work. Eventually that will go back on them. They will have to learn the lesson. So even if they're angry at me for what I've said, even if they're, and I've taken my accountability, I said, I'm sorry, I hurt your feelings, or I'm sorry I said this. Have patience with yourself, have patience with them, and turn your attention to what you need to focus on, not them. They will distract the crap out of you. That's what they do. That's what the negative energies do. They're like unhealed children. They want your attention. What do attention-starved children do? What do children do that want your attention badly? What do they turn to? Sometimes they can be witty and funny. Other times they will turn to destructive things. Keep that in mind. You have to have the patience. Because even though they're older, let's say they're older than you or whatever, they may not have the mental clarity when it comes to their emotions in order to manage them, in order to have a resolution or solution. So just because you and another person disagree with something, that's fine. If you can discuss it civilly between two adults, that's great. And you can go your separate ways, or you can still stay friends or family or whatever. But when you have two people beating up on another, that's not okay. Or you have, let's say, a family member that wants to heal and another one that doesn't. And so the other one is shutting you down, or anybody else that tries to follow in your footsteps or do what you're doing because they agree with it. That's their free will, their free choice. If another person doesn't want to do that healing, that's their free will, their free choice, but they do not have the right to tell another person not to. All right. So let's see. Let's get a love card, a love oracle for Cancerian. Self-indulgence. Focus on self, self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, self-appreciation. Okay. Normally this is a positive card, but I'm kind of getting that it goes with this one. So it could be overindulgence of something, but just keep in mind that you do have worth, you do have value. And so if you want to sit there, you want to read, you want to study, you want to learn, you want to start doing something new that somebody else has inspired you to do, that's your choice. Nobody can tell you not to just because they don't want to do it. Keep that in mind. What else we got? If you're single and you're worried so much, focus on self. Focus on helping other people maybe. Get back in the community. If you're in a relationship, again, you got to make sure that you're setting time for yourself. And you're not just putting it all into one individual. Be rational about it. Think logically if you can. Sometimes it's hard, I understand. Karmic relationships. This one automatically is reminding me of this one. Okay, you got the King and Queen of Clubs. One's in reverse, one's in the upright. Fleeting triggers, turmoil, resentment, lessons, letting go, and loving you. Again, this comes back to focus on self, self-worth, self-love, doing the shadow work. The shadow work's important because the triggers that come up. Let's say somebody says something, and instead of you saying, well, okay, that's true, you get really upset and angry about it. That's a trigger. That's something that needs to be healed because it relates to something that happened in your past that you haven't taken a look at or admitted to just yet. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody takes their time on their own timeline when it's good for them. Have trust in yourself. This one's flipped over already. I don't remember that coming out. Paradise. Happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, oneness, enjoying each other. So if you are in a good, solid relationship, then you're enjoying each other's company. You're being playful. You're doing the shadow work, and you also have time for self-appreciation and letting go of certain things that no longer are needed. You get that come out. 2 of those come out. Date and mirror. Keep in mind, whoever we meet in our life, if you're single and you're out there, date and mirror, they could be lessons for you coming in as well, or opportunity to learn new things and heal and grow. And the people that you meet in your daily life will be your mirror. They will show you things on the outside so that you see that are happening internally. Got the 2 of coins. That came out over the Wheel of Fortune. And then it flew down to the ground, kind of like being dismissed energy. That's what I'm getting. So these are things that you're trying to balance. Could be emotion and your intuition. 2 things that are very important. And having balance is really crucial. So you could be juggling them up in the air, deciding which one to go with. You can do both. Let's see what else we got for Cancerian. This is 31 minutes. All right. Corrupt, debase, impair, or taint, vitiate, defile, corruption open to or marked by bribery. Whatever situation in the background, this could be you or somebody else, you know what's going on quite possibly, of some sort of bribery. If that's you, keep in mind, free will, you can do whatever you want. If you want to take the bribe, you take it. If not, you choose for yourself. Pervert or undermine. So this could be, again, this authoritative figure that's in the family that is undermining somebody else's opinion on the situation, let's say. Okay, corrupt, twist from what is correct or proper to warp. Dirty place or situation, corrupt or seduce somebody, especially someone young and innocent. There's a lot of programming that happens young, and keep in mind, some of the adults that do this stuff, they were also corrupted young and used as pawns as well to corrupt others, okay? So it's a cycle again, and I don't like to talk about it very much, but even when it comes to the sexual nature and children involved, a lot of family situations will corrupt the young, and they will project onto them any of their sexual things, and that gets passed down. So it's also used as blackmail. It's also used against the child.